Solemnly and warningly, a cemetery is far more than just a tranquil sanctuary for the departed. It pulsates with an energy capable of both protection and peril. This hallowed ground exists at the threshold between realms, a place many cultures believe dark forces inhabit, poised to intrude upon our lives at any moment. The spiritual essence of a graveyard can be described as paradoxical. While serenity and peace prevail on one hand, an undeniable otherworldly atmosphere lingers on the other. Upon entering such sites, people frequently observe objects left scattered on the ground. However, it is precisely these items that harbor danger. These discarded articles are best left untouched. I will explain why it is forbidden to take abandoned belongings from a cemetery into your home, and I kindly ask my listeners to subscribe to my channel and like this video. A cemetery is imbued not only with memories of those who have passed, but also with the lingering energy of their final moments, their bitter tears, and their unfulfilled aspirations. Not just people visit this place, but also entities seeking solace or, conversely, remaining bound to the location. The energetic signature of a graveyard undergoes a dramatic transformation depending on the time of day. At night, the presence of errant entities intensifies, while during daylight hours, the sensations emanating from the graves become more acute. This site forms a bridge between our world and the unseen realm, often serving as a source of unpredictable influences on a person's psyche and soul. As is widely known, every object possesses its own energetic imprint. Anything that once belonged to an individual consumed by suffering and sorrow can retain a heavy, burdensome energy. Therefore, it is crucial to understand that removing anything from this sacred place means carrying fragments of gloom and dread along with you. There are 9 specific items that must neither be picked up within a cemetery nor transported to your home. Failure to adhere to this rule risks inviting misfortune into your life. Visiting a cemetery ought to be a solemn and respectful ritual, not a casual or frivolous pastime. Remember, certain items are best left exactly where they were found. The primary object to avoid touching is a mirror. Due to their inherent mystical properties, mirrors can reflect not only physical appearance, but also one's inner spiritual state. Their presence in a cemetery flings open portals to the realm of the deceased. Such an item is capable of holding lingering spiritual essences and energies that are not always inclined to return to the living. By picking up a mirror, you risk not merely bringing ill fortune upon yourself, but also becoming susceptible to subtle manipulations from beyond. The second item is footwear. Old or new shoes might appear innocuous, but it's essential to remember, shoes are perpetually linked to the earth. In a graveyard, they can be utilized to transfer ailments, curses, and ill fortune onto an unsuspecting individual. Every step taken in such shoes becomes a step that undermines your good fortune. You could easily find yourself ensnared by energetic chains that will be difficult to break free from, feeling their oppressive weight in your daily existence. Thirdly, a needle and thread. A needle and thread symbolize binding forces. From an esoteric perspective, such a discovery in a cemetery could signify a symbolic tether to those who have already departed this world. A belief persists that by picking up a needle and thread, you might inflict unseen damage upon your relationships and personal bonds. This item will serve as a conduit for sinister forces into your existence, leaving no opportunity to shed fear and anxiety. Furthermore, a needle and thread are an excellent medium for sorcery. Fourthly, a comb. This object, when found in a cemetery, transforms into a formidable energetic tool.
It is precisely with a comb that destinies can be combed or manipulated, and even diseases transferred. Taking a comb from a grave can lead not only to sorrow, but also to malaise. It is believed that such items convert the positive energy of darkness into malevolent forms, generating conflicting emotions and deteriorating one's well-being. Fifth, open pins. A pin, if lost in a cemetery, embodies attachment and inevitable doom. This item can become a harbinger of irreversible losses and adverse repercussions. By picking up a pin from a grave, you risk pinning dark periods into your fate and tethering yourself to misfortune. Sixth, fruits from trees or bushes. Fruits discovered within a cemetery are deemed especially hazardous. Their mere presence can signal unaddressed karmic obligations. To collect such fruits is to harvest rewards that were never yours to claim. It is strictly forbidden to gather, let alone consume, any fruit from a graveyard, as doing so can adversely affect your health and inner peace. Always remember, these fruits do not belong to you. The seventh item to avoid is a cross. A cross discovered in a cemetery is far more than just an ornament. It serves as a profound symbol of the personal faith of the individual to whom it once belonged. Its retrieval can lead to the disruption of your energetic field. By picking up such a cross, you assume the burden of another's intentions and potential suffering, which can result in grave repercussions for your life and destiny. Adornments are the eighth category of items to be left untouched. Regardless of whether it is modern or antique, jewelry inherently carries a history, and thus a residual energy. Rings, earrings, and other pieces can hold memories of deep attachments, profound sorrows, and unfulfilled aspirations. Retrieving them from the ground can lead to you inheriting their past destinies, risking your own life's journey by facing unnecessary obstacles. Ninth, we turn to flowers. Flowers in a cemetery are not merely tokens of remembrance. They can act as conduits for either joy or sorrow. Should you take flowers from a grave, you effectively assume the weight of a somber message. Carrying these flowers away may unwittingly expose you to energies that can precipitate various misfortunes, adverse psychological states, and a pervasive sense of pessimism. Bringing items home from a cemetery carries significant risks. By doing so, you not only invite alien negative energies upon yourself, but also the complex burdens intrinsically linked to the objects themselves. Such actions can lead to failures in business, issues in personal relationships, illnesses, and a persistent melancholy. Your life may suddenly plunge into disarray, and your home could become a place overshadowed by malevolence. Even the smallest trifle retrieved from a cemetery can act as a trigger for a multitude of misfortunes, ranging from the dissolution of relationships with loved ones to profound bouts of depression and isolation. Individuals who handle such items frequently report a noticeable decrease in joy during their waking hours, while their dreams become haunted by fears and anxieties. Furthermore, it is imperative never to disturb personal effects left upon graves. These might include photographs, children's toys, or other cherished mementos. They belong to the souls of the departed and, according to belief, maintain a potent energetic bond with them. Each of these items is steeped in memories, emotions, and even the final desires of the deceased. Should you decide to appropriate such an item, your act will be perceived as an affront to the soul, which may then impose its own burden upon you. Be assured, the grievances of the departed are capable of ushering in misfortune, and your dwelling could transform into a place of sorrow and bleakness.
A cemetery is not merely a place of remembrance. It is a hallowed ground where various rituals, both benevolent and dark, are frequently conducted. Sorcerers and mages are known to utilize objects left on graves for their arcane practices. It is conceivable that an uninitiated individual might inadvertently acquire an item that has been used in magical rites, and this very object could become the catalyst for adversity. The act of collecting items from such a place is fraught with not only physical but also mystical danger. Hence, it is crucial to understand that you might unwittingly become entangled in energies not intended for you. The spirits of the deceased can interpret the actions of the living as a profound display of disrespect. Should an item be removed from a grave, the offended spirit might pursue you, inflicting dread, sorrow, and misfortune.
Daily frustrations, minor yet persistent troubles, often trace their origins back to such an action. Once you retrieve something from a cemetery, you risk initiating a relentless chain of calamities in your life that you will simply be powerless to halt. Occasionally, you may encounter items in a cemetery that possess enigmatic histories. These could be vintage wedding rings, children's toys, or even ancient books. Their origins are frequently steeped in tragedy and unsettling circumstances. Should you choose to handle such an artifact, you risk unsealing portals to malevolent forces that certain items possess the ability to pierce through existence, effectively drawing you in and making you their unwitting victim. It's vital to remember that some of these objects can also accumulate a destructive, malevolent energy within them. From such items, not only can a residual essence of the deceased arise, but also powerful energetic currents capable of pulling you into their fierce maelstrom. To merely pick up even the most trivial trinket is to toy with malevolence, which may then turn its harmful attention directly upon you. Each and every item found within a cemetery's confines is more than a mere object. It embodies the memory and profound reverence for those who have passed on. To disregard this truth is not only to take something that isn't ours, but also to transgress a profound spiritual obligation to the deceased. The preservation of their remembrance is a sacred trust, a gift we are meant to cherish deep within our hearts and souls, rather than pilfering from their final resting places. Adhering to these straightforward guidelines will safeguard you from misfortune and uphold the dignity of the departed. Always remember that upon their departure from this world, they leave behind not merely their physical form, but also a fragment of their very essence, now safeguarded by the profound tranquility of their eternal abode. Approach this sacred ground with profound awe and genuine respect, and it shall reciprocate in kind.